Long before the first European ships appeared on the horizon, the vast lands of the Americas were already home to millions of people. These were not empty continents waiting to be discovered, but thriving worlds filled with diverse nations, each with their own languages, customs, and ways of life. From the frozen tundra of the north to the lush forests and rolling plains further south, indigenous peoples had built societies that were as varied as the landscapes they inhabited. Each community was uniquely adapted to its environment, developing technologies, beliefs, and social structures that reflected a deep understanding of the world around them. Their relationship with the land was not just practical, but spiritual, woven into every aspect of daily life. In the heart of North America, the Mississippian mound builders constructed the great city of Cahokia, with its towering earthen pyramids and bustling plazas. At its height, Cahokia was larger than many European cities of the same era, a testament to the ingenuity and organization of its people. Far to the west, the ancestral Puebloans carved their homes into the cliffs of Mesa Verde, creating intricate dwellings that still inspire awe today. These cliff cities were centers of culture, trade, and ceremony, built to last for generations. Across the continent, ancient earthworks and ruins stand as silent witnesses to civilizations that flourished for centuries, shaping the land and leaving enduring marks that can still be seen today. On the sweeping Great Plains, powerful tribes like the Lakota and Cheyenne followed the vast bison herds, developing a nomadic way of life perfectly suited to the rhythms of the land. Their survival depended on a profound knowledge of animal behavior, weather, and the cycles of nature. In the dense forests of the East, the Iroquois Confederacy united several nations under a sophisticated system of governance. Their great law of peace influenced not only their own people, but would later inspire democratic ideals around the world. They practiced advanced agriculture, cultivating the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash, in a sustainable cycle. Trade routes crisscrossed the continent, connecting distant peoples and allowing goods, ideas, and stories to flow freely. Oral traditions preserved histories, legends, and wisdom passed down through generations by skilled storytellers. Spirituality was at the heart of life, with ceremonies and rituals honoring the earth, the sky, and the ancestors. These deep spiritual ties shaped every aspect of culture, from art and music to governance and daily work. Their art, from intricate beadwork to pottery and weaving, reflected a sophisticated understanding of beauty and symbolism. Community farming and resource management demonstrated advanced knowledge of ecology and sustainability. To call America a new world is to overlook the thousands of years of history, innovation, and achievement already written here. The land was alive with stories, traditions, and the wisdom of countless generations. The continent was a vibrant tapestry of life, with thriving villages, bustling cities, and a web of relationships that spanned mountains, rivers, and forests. All of this would be forever changed by the arrival of newcomers from across the sea. The story of America does not begin with Columbus. It begins with the achievements, resilience, and enduring legacies of its first peoples, whose influence can still be felt in the land and culture today. Columbus's 1492 voyage triggered a tidal wave of exploration and conquest, forever altering the Americas. European powers saw not ancient societies, but resources to claim, ushering in an era of colonization and devastation. Disease decimated native populations, while Spanish conquistadors toppled empires with steel and strategy. In North America, Jamestown and Plymouth became the seeds of a new society, one driven by profit, the other by ideals. These colonies relied on forced labor and religious vision, planting the roots of both freedom and bondage. The collision of worlds set the stage for a nation defined by contradiction and ambition. From this conflicted soil, a new identity began to grow. Over generations, the 13 American colonies grew from small settlements into thriving communities, each developing its own unique character, customs, and ways of life. From the bustling ports of Boston and New York to the rural farmlands of Virginia and the Carolinas, these colonies became home to people from diverse backgrounds, all seeking opportunity and a better future. Despite their differences, the colonists shared a growing sense of unity and a desire for self-determination. Town meetings and assemblies became places where ideas of liberty and self-government flourished, and where colonists began to see themselves not just as British subjects, but as Americans with a shared destiny. Tensions rose as the British government imposed new taxes and regulations, such as the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts, without consulting the colonists. These measures were seen as an affront to their rights, sparking widespread protests and the powerful rallying cry, "No taxation without representation." Across the colonies, ordinary men and women joined together in acts of resistance, from boycotting British goods to organizing secret societies like the Sons of Liberty. What began as peaceful protest soon escalated into open conflict. In April 1775, shots rang out at Lexington and Concord, marking the start of the American Revolution. Farmers, tradesmen, and townsfolk took up arms, determined to defend their rights and their homes against the world's most powerful empire. Leading this unlikely army was George Washington, a man of steadfast resolve and vision. Through bitter winters, crushing defeats, and moments of doubt, Washington inspired his troops to persevere. At Valley Forge, they endured hunger and cold, forging a spirit of resilience that would carry them through the darkest days of the war. In 1776, the Continental Congress took a bold step, adopting the Declaration of Independence. This document did more than declare separation from Britain. It proclaimed that all men are created equal, endowed with unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The rebellion became a revolution, and the world took notice. The war was fought not just for freedom from tyranny, but for the creation of a new kind of nation, one built on the radical ideals of liberty, equality, and self-government. These principles inspired hope, but also posed difficult questions about who would share in the promise of freedom. Against overwhelming odds, the colonies achieved victory. The signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783 marked the birth of a new republic, forged in the fires of war and united by a shared vision for the future. The ideals of the revolution would echo through the centuries, inspiring generations to challenge injustice and expand the meaning of freedom. From the abolition of slavery to the fight for civil rights, Americans would continually strive to live up to the nation's founding promise. The struggle for independence was only the beginning of America's journey. Each new dawn brought fresh challenges and opportunities to build a more perfect union. The true test of the nation would be found not just in its founding, but in its ongoing effort to realize the ideals of liberty, justice, and equality for all. Independence brought a vast frontier, and the idea of manifest destiny fueled relentless westward expansion. The Louisiana Purchase doubled the nation's size, and Lewis and Clark's expedition opened the way for pioneers. Settlers braved hardship for land and opportunity, forging the archetype of the rugged individualist. But this expansion came at a devastating cost to Native Americans, who faced forced removal and broken treaties. The Trail of Tears marked a tragic chapter, as thousands were displaced and perished. Westward growth was both heroic and unjust, a story of ambition and profound loss. The nation's landscape and character were forever changed. America's promise was built on both dreams and displacement. As the nation grew, the divide over slavery deepened, pitting North against South. Compromises failed, and Lincoln's election triggered Southern secession and the birth of the Confederacy. The Civil War became America's bloodiest conflict, fought over Union and human freedom. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation redefined the war as a fight for liberation. Union victory ended slavery, but Reconstruction's promise of equality was short-lived. New laws and resistance in the South gave rise to segregation and racial oppression. The war ended slavery, but the struggle for justice continued. America's greatest crisis left wounds that would take generations to heal. The late 1800s and early 1900s marked a period of profound transformation in America. Factories roared to life, drawing millions of immigrants through gateways like Ellis Island, each seeking new opportunities and a better future. Cities expanded rapidly, their streets bustling with people from every corner of the globe, all contributing to the nation's evolving identity. Innovation flourished, with inventions and new industries changing the way Americans lived and worked. The Roaring Twenties brought a sense of excitement and possibility, as skyscrapers reached for the sky and automobiles sped along city streets. Yet, beneath the surface, prosperity and inequality grew side by side. While some enjoyed newfound wealth and modern conveniences, many struggled to keep pace with the rapid changes. New technologies like the telephone and radio connected people in ways never before imagined, reshaping daily life and the fabric of society. The world wars of the 20th century, first in Europe, then across the globe, drew America into conflicts that would forever alter its place in the world. soldiers marched off to distant battlefields, while those at home supported the war effort in factories and on farms. Victory brought pride, but also new responsibilities, as America emerged as a global superpower, shaping international events for generations to come. The Great Depression of the 1930s tested the nation's spirit like never before. Breadlines stretched for blocks, and families faced hardship and uncertainty. In response, the New Deal ushered in sweeping reforms, redefining the government's role in providing for its citizens and rebuilding the economy. Public works projects put millions back to work, laying the foundation for a stronger, more resilient America. After the war, a new era dawned. Suburban neighborhoods blossomed, symbolizing hope and prosperity for many families. Yet the shadow of the Cold War loomed large as the nation faced the threat of nuclear conflict and engaged in a fierce rivalry with the Soviet Union. Amid this tension, Americans looked to the stars, culminating in the historic Apollo 11 moon landing, a triumph of ingenuity and determination. At home, the struggle for justice and equality intensified. The civil rights movement, led by courageous individuals and communities, challenged deep-seated injustices and demanded change. Marches, speeches, and acts of defiance paved the way for landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act, and inspired a new era of activism and hope for a more inclusive America. Social change swept the nation, from the counterculture movements of the 1960s to the technological revolution of the late 20th century. Computers, once the size of rooms, became part of everyday life, connecting people and ideas across vast distances. American families grew more diverse, reflecting the nation's ongoing evolution and the promise of opportunity for all. Through trials and triumphs, America's story has been one of constant reinvention, a nation shaped by its challenges, defined by its dreams, and always moving forward toward a new chapter. America's story is shaped by its presidents, leaders who steered the nation through crisis and change. Washington set the standard for leadership and peaceful transition. Lincoln preserved the Union and ended slavery, his words redefining the nation's ideals. FDR guided America through depression and war, expanding the government's role in citizens' lives. Other presidents, Theodore Roosevelt, Kennedy, Johnson, left their mark through reform, vision, and civil rights. Each faced the challenges of their era, shaping the country's direction. Their legacies continue to influence the nation today. Today, America's history is more accessible than ever through digital archives and museums. The Library of Congress, Smithsonian, and National Archives offer online access to documents, photos, and artifacts. Explore Jefferson's draft of the Declaration. Explore Civil War photographs. Explore oral histories from former slaves. These resources bring the past to life, connecting us directly to the nation's story. They invite everyone to become historians, piecing together America's complex journey. The past is alive, waiting to be explored by all. The American story continues, shaped by new challenges and ongoing debates. From 9/11 to economic crises, the nation has faced shocks that test its resilience. Movements for justice and equality remind us the promise of America is still unfinished. Political polarization and rapid technological change redefine daily life and national identity. America's diversity and capacity for reinvention remain its greatest strengths. The journey is not a straight line, but a constant struggle toward a more perfect union. Every citizen helps write the next chapter in this ever-evolving story.